Hi guys, welcome to Tech Tuesday. Boy, we've got a great show for you tonight. If you guys watch Steve Lehto, that attorney out of Michigan, he talked about that customer that had the warranty claim denied because of Loctite. We have an update on that, and that dealer told that customer the wrong information. How do I know that? Because we got him right here. That's right. Happy New Year, everybody. It's our last Tech Tuesday at 25. Chuck does have a procedure coming up. Lots of prayers and well wishes. I do appreciate that very much.
Me too, very much.
Maybe depending on how you feel, maybe we'll do like a speakerphone Tech Tuesday. If not,
yeah, we'll see.
We'll do the best we can to be here for you guys. We are going to announce next Tuesday, on January 6th, the winner of the Solar Performance Throttle Controller and Throttle Body Giveaway. This is your last notice. Click that link in the very first comment down below. Just need a name and an email. That throttle controller will work on a C6, a C7, and a C8. The throttle body is specifically for a C8 Stingray and E-Ray. I love it when people will call me and say, hey, I bought that controller. But Rick, you're right. Now I know why your face looked like it did when you first put it on your car. I found myself driving on track in Sport 7. Driving around town, Sport 7 is almost a little bit too much, but it is great getting out there on the freeway and passing people. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. But thank you for that support. Also, don't forget about the Dream Corvette giveaway. This is your last chance. This is a real deal. This is reality. Besides being a dream, to win 2 Corvettes, $60,000 in cash, and a lift for your Corvettes. Click that link down below. You get 5 times the entries, guys. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate it. And you notice my car is behind me. We're doing little tweaks here and there. Definitely keeping you busy. I was going to do a video, not that you guys really care, but I was going to do a video. I was talking to you off camera about how much I've spent on this car this year. Because I almost threw up. I don't think I'm going to do that video, but I'm having fun. I'm using it, sharing it, learning with you guys. We're actually going to add that underbody air deflector that's standard on European cars we got from our friends at Paragon Performance. I'm going to put it on my car and show you what benefit it may have for your car, depending on how you use it. We have some great conversations tonight. We'll talk about the Steve Lehto thing in just a moment. What do you want to start us off with?
All right, this one comes from Tim. Says, hey Rick, love the show and appreciate all that you and Chuck do for the Corvette community. I have a quick question about the performance exhaust. I own a 2022 C8 Stingray Z51 with the performance exhaust, and a friend of mine who is a mechanic noticed a squeak from the rear. After a while, I started noticing it as well. After some investigation and troubleshooting, I noticed my C8 squeaks when changing between V8 and V4 mode. I took it to the dealer, who told me that it is the valve actuators, and quoted me $5,000 to replace the entire exhaust. My question is it really necessary to replace the whole exhaust system? And is that price normal? And is there any other way to get rid of my C8 exhaust squeak?
There's actually an update on that. Check this out.
Well, back in the C7 era, we had a problem with some of them squeaking. It depends on what's squeaking. It could be the mechanical electrical valve squeaking that could be causing it. It could be the valve inside that's made inside the exhaust. GM did come out with a bulletin for a chirp squeak noise from the rear of the vehicle. And they actually suggested a dry lube that you spray on and around that exhaust on the outside. The GM part number is 01052948. It's just a dry slide 4-ounce aerosol compliant dry lube is all it is. And you spray it around the valve. We've had one in here that we tried that, and it would only take care of it for just a little while, and the customer come right back. And yes, we determined it was the valve actually made into the exhaust. And there's nothing you can do with that except replace the entire exhaust.
Yeah, so that sounds about right too. I know, I don't know how much the factory one is, but I know the aftermarket, like the Borla ones, run around $5,000 to $6,000.
Correct.
That's just for the exhaust system. That's not even the labor to put it on. The Borla ones, they come in like
pieces.
It's almost like a Lego set.
It is like a Lego set.
Yeah, to put those together.
But yes, I've seen it both ways, where you can try this dry lube, and it may take care of it briefly. We had one like that, and we ended up putting the entire exhaust system on it.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Tuesday. Here's one from Lou. He says, Rick and Chuck, great job. Love watching the Tech Tuesdays. I've got a DCT question for you. Just kidding, he says. We actually have some good questions that people will learn from and others watching can learn from. So we tease about that, but there's always great conversation on servicing the DCT for your C8. He's got a 22 HTC hardtop convertible. It's got 6,700 miles. He goes, I've not received any over-the-air software updates. Is this normal? When was the last update? Well, there's a way you can go into your infotainment system and look for the last update and scan and see if there's one available that you may have missed, but there hasn't really been much of late. So yeah, that's not a regular regimented thing. It's just when something pops up and is available, then you'll get a notification. Usually when you put your car in the park before you turn it off, it'll pop up on the screen. There's instructions to follow, and then wait till it tells you that you can exit the vehicle so you don't break the communication and you actually get the full download. But you probably just have nothing going on, so that's why you haven't heard anything.
Well, and GM might have quit doing it for a while, because if everybody remembers, we had that serial data gateway module update we had to do.
Yeah, it wasn't communicating with the
That
satellite.
was why, yes, it wasn't communicating, allowing the over-the-air update, so you had to go in and do the serial data gateway update program so it would communicate and complete those downloads.
Yeah, maybe check with your local dealership, have them run your VIN and see if you get any open recalls, or I don't know if that would be a recall per se or a bulletin.
It was a recall.
It was a recall? Okay, for the serial data gateway update, and then that may help with the communication. Maybe you got that and just missed it, so check your VIN out and you might be in good shape.
Yeah, and like I said, GM might have quit doing it for a while because they knew they was having this problem till they get all these serial data gateway modules updated.
It wasn't even working.
Right.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.
This one comes from, I don't know.
It's kind of a weird email, but okay, thanks for the email.
Right. It says...
I apologize. It's from Tom.
Oh, yeah, I see down here
Okay.
now. Tom, how do you fill the water coolant in the supercharger circuit on a C7 Corvette Z06? Appreciate all your help. Always look forward to your videos. Thanks sincerely, Tom.
For as long as we've been doing this, we did C7, we're in the C8, we've never had this question to fill the supercharger cooler circuit for a C7 Z06. Good question. Thank you, Tom.
And it actually requires 3 special tools from General Motors. You have to have a coolant filler, a coolant adapter, and a coolant vacuum fill to be able to access that system and fill it.
Okay.
But there is a special procedure on doing it. There's not like you just pull the cap and dump coolant in it. That won't work.
All right. Here's where we're going to blow the lid off the internet once again. Thanks to just knowing how to do your job, basically. I want you to watch this clip. I want you guys to watch this clip, just a segment from Steve Lehto's video talking about the C8 warranty and why it was denied because of Loctite.
A C8 owner says that's exactly what he's facing after his warranty claim was denied over some Loctite. Loctite found during an electrical failure diagnosis. Now, Loctite is a brand of adhesive often used in automotive work, particularly for securing bolts against vibration-related loosening. The owner says that a short while ago, he noticed that one of the buttons on his steering wheel wasn't working. Very, very simple problem. One button on the steering wheel wasn't functioning at all, despite several things he'd done to try to wake it up. And there's apparently troubleshooting things you can do to try to wake up malfunctioning buttons. So he took it to the dealer, believing it'd be covered under warranty. Now, he bought the Corvette used with 12,000 miles on it, and he thought it was still under warranty, but he also had paid extra for a GM Platinum warranty along with it. So he brought the car in, and the dealer said, oh yeah, button problem on the steering wheel, not a problem, we'll cover it under warranty. But then, when technicians were getting into it, they found Loctite on the bolts inside the steering wheel assembly, which they said was red Loctite, and it shouldn't be there, and that he personally knew the previous owner who did nothing to the car. Still, the diagnosis shifted from a simple switch replacement to requiring an entirely new steering wheel, which, number one, is now on back order, and number two, they said we're not going to pay for the repair because the repair, we believe, may have been caused or may have been necessitated by something someone else did to the steering wheel that was not an authorized GM dealer.
All right, so I was talking to Chuck about that, the Loctite thing, and you said, well, no, that's wrong. Why is that wrong?
Well, if we can look here, if you can see, I have went into General Motors service information and pulled the document for steering wheel replacement. Now, if they're talking about the center bolt that goes into the steering wheel, which if you look right here, it's hard to see, but in this picture is the center bolt that holds the steering wheel to the steering column. I assume that's what they're talking about that had Loctite on it. And I'm telling you right now, every Corvette has Loctite on that bolt. They're a pain in the derriere to get out. Trust me, it takes Nate and I both, me inside the car, him outside the car with a 4-foot breaker bar, me holding the steering wheel with my hands and knees and holding the socket down on while he breaks it loose outside, because they all have Loctite on them.
Now, Steve had mentioned it was a red Loctite. Is that what's in there when you get in there? Okay, so that does come from the factory like that.
Absolutely. And if you read through when you're reassembling the steering wheel, it says if you're using a new threaded bolt, you don't have to do anything. But if the threaded component that you took out is being reused, in other words, you're putting the same bolt back in that you took out, prepare the thread component using the following steps, and there's 4 steps. Remove all the loose curd from the external threads, clean the threads, remove debris and the internal threads with compressed air, and then step 4 is apply liquid thread locking adhesive to the stripe along half the length of the external threads starting at the tip just prior to installation. So they want you to put Loctite back on this bolt before you put it back in, because the last thing in the world you want to happen is for that bolt to come loose while you're driving down the road and the steering wheel come off in your hand. So yes, they are Loctited in to prevent that.
Is there a bulletin number there that I can refer to on the screen in case Steve's watching?
Well, this is just the document ID number of the steering wheel replacement.
We'll put that up there for you guys to find that.
Yeah, okay. But yes, they come with thread locker on them, and if you get a new bolt, it'll already have the thread locker on it. If you're reusing the old bolt, you have to put thread locker back on it.
Yeah, so they told that guy in his repair, which was something not relative to that. They said, "Oh, hey, we got into the steering wheel. We saw this Loctite. Oh, we're not gonna cover this repair," and they wanted to charge him $1,700. So that is wrong.
That is wrong.
And it just boils down to, guys, and I'm fortunate to have this guy. But guys, really, these documents are available to every Chevrolet store. But really understanding your job, and if you don't have the answer, look for the answer before you start pulling the car apart. It's right there for you. So it's unfortunate for that guy. So hopefully Steve will relay this message to that gentleman. Maybe he's got some kind of recourse to help him out. That way you guys know as well in the future. Here's one from Dave. He says, "Rick, I'm considering the 1VM splitter from ACS and Carbon Flash. I've got the stock Z51 splitter on there right now, and I've got Carbon Flash mirrors and spoilers. Is that what you have?" I did the painted mirrors, painted spoiler. I did from ACS, though, those Wickers, and I do have the 1VM. I didn't want those sides to come up. The other thing I suggest to do from our friends at ACS Composite, in fact, I've got some stuff I'm going to be putting back on the car there. Just a great company to work with. When you put the splitter on there, also get their closeout panel that goes in from the very front lip of the splitter and ties into the GM closeout panel. There's that little pocket of air right there, so if you do any performance driving, just spirited driving, sometimes air will get caught and circulate underneath there, vibrate, and sometimes you get some lift on there too. So get that component as well at acscomposite.com. Thanks for watching the channel and enjoy your car, man.
All right, this one comes from, says Gear Up NGO. It says
from South.
Oh, South. Says, "First of all, sincerely wish Chuck well on his procedure and speedy recovery. Thank you very much. I have a 2019 Grand Sport with 33,000 miles. Never tracked or driven it hard. Do I need to have all the fluids changed? Specifically, brake fluid, differential, transmission fluid was changed in 2020 at 6,000 miles due to the vibration issue and or coolant. Any other fluid changes you feel necessary? Thanks for your video and great content."
That's a good question.
Yes, it is a good question. And what I tell people is you've actually hit the kind of the mileage and the year, because I call it the 5-year birthday for all the C7s. Because let's face it, back in C7, people really wasn't driving them that much. So you come in on time more so than you would on mileage. But yes, the coolant needs done every five years or 150,000 miles. Well, yeah, 2019, you're beyond the 5-year now, so you're year 6, almost going into year 7. So yes, I would have it all done, and at 33,000 miles, I'd have somebody look at the cabin filter as well as the engine air filter. But yes, you're due for the transmission again, even though you had it done at 6,000 miles. You got 33 on it now, should be done again. And the rear diff and the brake fluid and the coolant, everything. I'd have everything done.
So what he had done at 6,000 miles was probably that new fluid.
Yes, for the vibration, for the vibration shutter.
So and I would imagine now when they replenish it, that the old stuff's no longer available. So he would get the new fluid. Or does he
Well,
have
let's
to
hope
really
so.
be real? Yeah, you have to be real specific.
Yeah,
to make sure that you get
yeah,
that.
I would make sure they're putting the new updated transmission fluid back in it.
All right, yeah, that way the vibration will simply come back. So
Correct.
Yeah, but it's time to do all that stuff. So
Yep.
enjoy your car. Thank you for watching the channel and sharing that. This one comes from Scarlett. Says, Rick, I'm glad you enjoyed the Rapid Blue 2.0 sticker. She sent me some custom stickers about a month ago. They were really neat. I need some clarification on a DCT issue. I've got a 23 Stingray, 23,000 miles. I took it to my dealer in September for the DCT filter change. At that time, the DCT fluid was at 52%. My 3 years will be up in February of 2026. I know the manual says to change the fluid 3 years or 45,000 miles. We actually have a customer that reads the owner's manual.
Correct.
Wow. All right. I'm sorry. I just had to throw that in there.
she
Thank
read
you for
the
that.
manual. Now what's her
Okay.
question?
All right. So the question. I'm sorry. It's just nice to have intelligent conversations with people.
Sure.
It really is. So thank you for that. It's in the back of your owner's manual. Although 2526, you don't have an owner's manual. You have to go on and order it from Chevrolet. I think for $50, which sucks and is wrong. But if you want the printed one, it's available to you. If not, it's a free one. Download it electronically. So when I took it in, I asked if I could go ahead and get that fluid changed now. That way I only could take the car in once and not have to bring it back for the fluid change. I was told sure. When I picked up the car, the fluid was not changed. When I asked why it wasn't, I was told the GM said they would not let them change the fluid until it was at a certain percentage level on the screen. Had I known this, I would have changed the filter myself, as I do a lot of the work on the car myself, and would have taken it in for the fluid exchange in February of 26. Here's my questions. Is there a specific percentage that needs to be met before GM would let you replace the fluid? If so, what happens to my 3 years when it comes up in February of 26? Right now I'm at 40% on my fluid. I've never seen a percentage. I would have to gather that if you're down around that 10 percentile or whatever, but if it's 3 years, 45,000 miles, I don't care if the thing's at 75%, right?
Right.
You still have to do it.
Yeah, regardless of what that countdown timer says, yes. GM's not paying for this transmission fluid exchange anyway.
Right.
The customer's paying for it, so yeah, it doesn't matter as long as you was close to that 3 year interval, which you are.
Yeah, she's a few months away.
Right.
That's really
it still would have been fine.
Right, and it's your decision. You're not at the 45,000 miles. You're close, but you're closer to the 3 years, which is,
Correct.
as you know, because you read your manual, it is required maintenance. So I don't see why they wouldn't have done that for you, especially as a customer pay, for goodness sakes.
I don't understand why the dealer told him GM wouldn't let him. GM's not paying for it. You are. So.
And this is frustrating. I mean, there's so many good dealers out there doing a great job taking care of you guys, but you seem to focus and glorify the ones that don't know, that won't make the extra effort or give you wrong information. And it's really unfortunate, especially when you're buying any car, but especially this car at this level. So I'm sorry that you guys encounter that. One of the reasons we're really committed to do Tech Tuesdays is to help the Corvette community as a whole. It's a great way to connect and educate, and that's really one of the main premises of my channel.
But just like the one we discussed last week that the used car manager got upset with me.
Oh yeah, because of the 3 years.
Yeah, that transmission fluid life monitor was still way up there because the car only had 800 miles. But I don't care. It was past the 3 years.
Well, the guy we talked about before had 4,400 miles. It was 3 years. And he goes, oh my gosh, I got to change all this stuff. And his stuff was, I think, at 63%.
Yes.
I said, but it's 3 years.
Not
right.
And.
Right, exactly. I did mine at 2 years.
Right.
Because I was at 40,000 miles, 2 years, and I think my percentage was like at 15 or 12%, something like that. It was down there. It was just, and you were doing other services, and I'm like, okay, just do it all at that time, doing the brake fluid and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, yeah, she was trying to do the same thing. So
yeah, she was trying to do the right thing, and unfortunately, they didn't let her do the right thing.
Yeah, so I would just do it when you can get in there and get it done again. Unfortunately, I'm sorry you had to encounter that, but thanks for sharing that. That way, others again get this information and understand. If a dealer says that, they're like, oh no, wait a minute, this is what it is.
Right.
I can't wait to see the
This is what my service manual said.
Right.
So.
Well, this is what Rick and Chuck said. I was going to say, I can't wait to see what the fallout is from the Loctite thing, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's bizarre, man. It's unfortunate, but it's bizarre. But I get excited when we are providing you guys with the right information. Going to show you how to put on those air deflector things here in just a moment. Chuck's got another one for us.
Yes, this one comes from Hanny. It says, hello. I bought a 2022 C8 convertible with about 2,750 miles from US.
Shipped it to Kuwait. This is complicated. Wow.
At 5,280 miles, the reverse transmission gear would not engage, and the service transmission appeared on the display. Also, it shifts from first to third to fifth, skipping gears. I took it to a certified GM dealer in Kuwait. After inspection, they told me that the transmission needs to be replaced for around $27,000. I informed GM Chevrolet in the U.S., and after about 3 months of emails, calls, and transfers, while the car was undrivable, they told me to go ahead and proceed fixing it, the GM dealer, and they would reimburse the cost.
Yeah, they want them to go to a GM dealer in Kuwait.
Right.
Okay.
That's what, yeah, to go to a GM dealer in Kuwait, and they would reimburse the cost. I paid about $23,500 for a new transmission and sent them the receipt. They asked for a contact number of the Kuwait GM dealer, then asked for a contact email. After around 4 months, they replied they will not pay because I fixed it overseas and I need to be a U.S. resident. I would have fixed the transmission elsewhere if that would have not cost me as much. I would like to expose their act, and did they fulfill the word that they tricked me through on your channel if possible?
I mean, I don't know what the warranty laws are or what you get from overseas. There's a whole separate export division for that. I can't sell you a new car in Kuwait. I can sell you a used one,
right,
which is what you bought there. But again, where the warranty lies, that really is going to be up to GM. So I'm sorry, we can't speak out of turn and say what you've got. An email said that they would reimburse you. So unfortunately, it looks like you got several more months of chasing down and being the squeaky wheel to see if you can get that rectified. But again, I don't know what if it was a new car, I would have said you got a problem because the new car went overseas and that's the wrong manner in which the sales, and it probably had a black warranty. But if you bought it used and it went over, then that shouldn't be. But again, I don't know how the warranty follows the car when it goes out of the country, because there are a few little things that are different on the European cars, the overseas cars, one of which we're going to show you on my car here in just a second. So I don't know how that plays out. So maybe do some investigation, what the warranty is. If you went into your Kuwait dealer, what is your warranty? Do you have the same 3-year, 36,000 mile that we have? I just don't know that. So that might be the first place to start. Do some investigation there, and hopefully you get compensated as you should be. And I'm just wondering too, in that transmission, what he talked about in the issues there, you think they even would have tried to reprogram the transmission control module? I know you've had a lot of transmissions and immediately, I need a new transmission. And all it was is reprogramming the software.
Some of it's reprogramming software. Depends on what code it is. I mean, certain codes that you pull out of a transmission and you plug into the computer, there is no diagnosis. It says if you have this code, replace transmission.
Yeah, right.
So,
but we've not seen any of those in a long time.
Not in a while.
No, we really haven't. No.
Yeah.
No, that's good. Okay, so hey, thanks for watching the channel from Kuwait. I really appreciate that. Okay, so if you drive your car a lot and you do some performance driving like I do, aggressive driving on the track, and you want to cool down that engine bay, there's a piece on there that actually goes to, this is a great segue, goes on overseas cars, but it's not on the American cars. And it's an easy install. It uses the existing bolts. Chuck and I want to show you this that we just got from Paragon Performance, and this is a GM part. I do want to thank my friends at Paragon for providing this for us. Go to ParagonPerf.com to find this. I think they're currently on back order. Put in your request.
of course they are.
Of course, everything's. Why do I even say that? Like anything you ever want for this car is on back order, for goodness sakes.
Exactly.
Wow.
So we're going to take these 3 bolts out.
Hang on a second here. I'm going to try and get underneath.
And then we have this bracket.
Okay. It's a deflective shield.
It goes in with these 3 bolts.
So you can use the existing bolts. I know
Yes.
sometimes on some bolts you take off from GM, they make you get new bolts, like when you're doing the DCT filter, that kind of stuff. These aren't those type of bolts because these
No.
panels come off and on.
These hold the shear plate in.
Right. All right, so that looks kind of cool. Very easy install.
Yes. It looks like you got a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch drop down here that scoops and directs it up into the engine bay.
Yeah, so it just flows that airflow right back up in there. And we're seeing some other tests out there. I haven't had a chance to do mine, but they're talking about a 50-degree variance in that area. And heat is the enemy of an engine especially when you're out there on track. So this is pretty neat. So this is a standard item on European cars. And you brought up a really good question. As soon as we put this on, you go, well, wait a minute, I'm worried about...
Is it going to interfere?
Is it going to interfere with the airflow when you put the ductwork on for your tracking? Now I have the top piece on, so when the bottom piece comes on, looks like it'll be hanging down lower, so the airflow is going to be different here than it is here. So there's no conflict whatsoever.
Yeah, but if you look down the line, this shoulder is about in line with this shoulder. So
height-wise,
this will not interfere with this.
Right. So if you are tracking, you have this on, this will do what it's supposed to do. No compromise to airflow here. It's going to go right to your back brakes. You'll be in really good shape.
Yep.
Nice affordable piece. Factory bolts, easy install.
Easy.
What's crazy to me is it took us 5 years to discover this.
Right?
It's like, really?
I just don't know why they're only on European cars.
No,
I
exactly.
guess.
Well, they've got some weird specs sometimes, but
oh, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, and you know, that's their government transportation laws. Just like that, guys. Look how easy that is.
We'll get the torque wrench out and check the torque on those bolts, and we'll be good to go.
All right, man. Thanks, buddy. All right, before we go, just want to wish you luck on your procedure.
Thank you.
Want to wish you guys Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone.
Somebody had made a comment. I just, in one of my ramblings and rants, I had said a few weeks ago, I said that I was down. They said, did you say 16 or 60%? My sales and my income are down 60% this year. Yeah. It's no fault of ours. We've done everything we can to get out there, promote and share the right information. I've been to more places around the country this past year, partly celebrating my 30 years of selling this car, but it really was a great way to connect with you guys, meet people we've never met before, but, struggling with the plant shutdowns, parts availability. I mean, it's been frustrating, man. It really has. And I guess if GM would worry about getting their parts in order rather than worry about what video I post and make me take them down, maybe I'd be in better shape. But point being, I am still extremely thankful to so many people. I have to use the adage that has gotten me through life, and that is find the positive and move forward. We're here with you guys. We've got an incredible opportunity. I've met so many great people this past year. I've done business with some amazing people, and it's so enjoyable and so fun for me to be a part of this car. I really enjoy that part. So I got to focus on that positive. It's easy to look at the negative stuff, but you guys need to understand we've just been beat up this year, and it's everything we can to try and move forward each and every day. Try to find that positive so we can continue to move forward. So for your business considerations, for your continued support through my channel, through our sponsors, I really do appreciate that. For those of you that drive hours upon hours to come see him and have him work on your car, it really does mean a lot. So I wish you guys Happy New Year, and I anticipate, because I don't look at just today, I'm always that looking down the road. I anticipate the first half of the year going to be a little bit difficult market-wise. You got heavy inventory. Sometimes you don't have enough of the right inventory, but I think things are really going to be good as we get toward the end of 26 and the 27 model comes out. But right now we've got a wonderful car, and I'm going to do all I can to continue to inform you guys and promote that so you have an opportunity to be a part of this. There's so many people watching right now who've never had this car, and once you get it, they're like, oh, now I get it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I want you to get it. Hopefully we have an opportunity to do business. I work with you guys all over the country, so thank you for that, and thank you again for watching today. Before you go, we got some great looking cars. Hopefully this is a good one to end the new year. I've been getting emails all over the place. They are some good looking cars. What are they, Chuck?
Your beautiful rides.
Thanks again, guys.
young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you hindsight is fleeting, oh, and your heart's bleeding, and all you can see is red, till you discover it is within each other to forgive and make amends. If I had known then, or what I know now, I wouldn't have said what I said. I took the long road, thought I'd be better on my own. Sometimes what's right is wrong instead, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one, and I can't wait to see you again. Oh, I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait, 'cause I was too young, and I didn't understand that you were the one,